Hey everyone, Matt and I want to welcome you today for us to begin telling you about a new incredible thing that has happened with Microsoft. So incredible that I think if you're a Google school, you're going to want to get Microsoft. And there are a lot of schools like in Texas that have both. So maybe it's time after you see this to have both. And I've not always been that person, but I am now. Matt's going to be joining us in a second. So if you happen to be here, and it doesn't look like we have anyone yet, it is Sunday afternoon. If you happen to be here, let us know in the comments where you're from. And then soon Matt will be here, but I'm still going to go ahead and tell you about this today. And I'm so excited. I really think I've been in this technology game for a while. And this app is the one that I'm been the most excited about in a decade, probably. It's totally incredible. And I'm a language arts teacher, so it's going to change the game, especially for middle school teachers. So if you're just joining us, Matt's going to be on here soon, but I'm going to be talking at first, and then he'll come and join us. And I'm Holly Clark from the Infused Classroom. And if you are here, please let us know where you're from. I'm trying to see how I can see those comments, but it's not showing up quite yet. And I see a couple people are on. And so today, Matt and I, right now, just me, are going to be talking about reading progress. Now, if you haven't heard of reading progress and maybe you're a Google school, you still want to hear about this because it's a game changer. And it might be such a game changer that you say to your school district, we need Microsoft too. I think if I were in a school district right now, and someone's from Washington, D.C., they have, if you're in the actual D.C. area, you have Microsoft. And thank you for telling me, Kathy, and anyone else who's here. If you can tell us where you're from, there's quite a few of you here now. But I'm going to be talking today. We're not going to talk long, so you're not going to have too much time to be on here. But I'm going to be talking about something that's new to Microsoft Teams. And if it were me and I were at a full Google school, I would be asking right now, how do we get Microsoft as well? Because I would want this. And I would want this because what I'm going to show you is something called reading progress. And reading progress allows us to have students do reading, and then it scores, the AI scores it, says what the words per minute, any mistakes that were made. And there's a lot that we can do in this reading progress, and it's game changing. And as a middle school teacher, I'm going to be honest with you. Like, I've sometimes worked in a school that had 55-minute periods, and then I had like 5 of them during the day. And I don't really know how all of my students read. At one point, I might have them read a chapter or part of it, not the whole chapter, but part of a page of a book, and I might hear them that one time. But this would be a real opportunity for me to gather information about my students' reading at the beginning. And even if you're not a reading teacher, especially if you're a coach, you're going to want to see this. So I'm going to share my screen while we wait for Matt. And Matt's going to actually come in and be my student and do the reading so you can see how easy it is. But I want you to see what reading progress looks like. So inside of Microsoft Teams, I'm going to show you in a second, under assignments, they have this thing where you can attach assignments. Well, one of the things that you can attach now is this reading progress. And you can see the student here. The teacher attaches a reading. She comes on and either using video or not video, she reads it. And then the AI goes in and corrects it. And let's look at, and I have to put on my glasses and look over here because I have it on my second screen. But you can see her words per minute are 82. So let's pretend that we get this at the beginning of the school year. And we take this once a month because it just becomes a homework assignment or becomes an assignment that's part of a station. It's brilliant how this can work. Now, I was in charge of a lower school once, and people had to do reading records, and we had to get substitutes for them, and it was a big deal. And we did it only like 3 or 2 times a year because it was so labor intensive for the teachers to listen to everyone read and then kind of chart where they might have made mistakes. But you can see that in this, the AI is doing mispronunciations, it's doing omissions. If you insert a word, repetitions, and then self-corrections. And so those are all color-coded here for the teacher to see. And not only can the teacher see this, they can go into the Insights tab. If you happen to be a Microsoft user, you know about the Insights tab. And you can see and you can drill down to this student's progress over time, or where are words that she's missing. So maybe you can find some reading activities that go with some of the like kind of phonetical things that she's missing. And it's just amazing. It's going to just keep getting better and better. This is like just coming out of beta. And I don't even know if it's officially out of beta. So think about this. Think about this in 2 years, how much great information we're going to be able to get about students' reading progress as they go through schools. And I just want to say, I don't think we're going to have kids now because of this kind of fall through the cracks. We've had that before because they could just not read or not volunteer to read, or we just got those 2 times with our reading records. So now we have this thing that becomes an assignment that we can assign once a month. We can share that information. Oh, and someone just asked, sorry, I'm just looking over at the comments right now. They just asked, what's the name of the program? So, and hi. So the name of the program is called Reading Progress, and it's only right now available inside of Microsoft Teams. So if you happen to be a Google school, you probably are going to want to go to the administrator and be like, hold the phone, especially if you are elementary or middle school, and say, we need to also have access to Microsoft, which, by the way, is free. Not all parts of it are free, but you can get started with it that way. So this is a game changer for me, especially, like I said, as a middle school teacher. So because I don't get to hear them all the time, nor do they want to read out loud, and nor do I want to listen to all of them read out loud, to be honest with you. So I'm going to switch this and come out of this little window, and I'm going to come over to Teams, and let me just stop this. I've enlarged it, and it's actually, I got it from a blog post that I wrote. So if you want to know more about it, you can go to hollyclark.org. It's the third blog post that's there. And there's this video that you can watch by Mike Tholson, and he explains and goes through, and the little girl reads, and he looks at the insight, something that we're not going to be able to do today. But to assign this to Matt, let me go to my Teams and hold on. I have placed Matt inside, and he'll be here in a second. I have placed him inside of my team here. And Microsoft has recently changed the assignments. Used to be at the top navigation. Now it's over on the left-hand side. And if I go to assignments, and it's kind of hidden. So if you happen to be a Microsoft Teams school, you might not even know that this is here. So if I go to assignments, and I'm going to create a new assignment, my bar is making it so I can't see that. So let me change this a little bit. Let me get I hate when it does this. My dock is in the way. So let me just move the dock. And as soon as I go to the dock, it will disappear anyway. And automatically hide. Okay, here we go. I'm going to create. And I'm going to go to create an assignment, which is what teachers do all the time. But this is where it's hidden a little bit. If I go to attach, I can come down here to reading progress. And it's available in all Teams, I believe now, but if not, starting in the next few weeks. And here's where I'm going to upload my reading assignment. And I'm going to assign this to Matt. And I just brought one from I Love the Story 11 by Sandra Cisneros. I'm going to open it, and it's going to place it inside of reading progress. It's that easy. Now I can go in and I can edit, and I can maybe take out certain things, but I want my students, like, I don't want it to say text 11 by Sandra Cisneros. So I'm going to edit this, and I'm going to just take this out. It says 1 because it's a PDF that's been saved on my desktop. So I'm going to take that out. And now I am going to, hello, welcome. I'm going to be assigning this to you, Matt. So be ready to read today.
I'm ready.
And now I can see the student view. And it's going to, like, this is what it would look like. I have 2 screens, so it's a little confusing. And this is what it will look like for a student. And actually, maybe, Matt, you didn't even have to be here to read this. So it's recording right now. And I would read 11 by Sanders Cisneros. What they don't understand about birthdays and what they never tell you is that when you're 11, you're also 10 and 9 and 8 and 7 and 6 and 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. And the kid can keep going, but I'm going to stop. And you need to get to the end to go to I'm done, but I only did a paragraph, so it's probably not going to like me. And then I'm going to use this recording. And I am going to exit the student view. Now, Matt, I'm actually going to assign this to you right now. And I can pick the reading level, but I'm not going to. The genre, the number of attempts, which I would leave as unlimited. I let them do the best job that they could. I'm going to put the pronunciation sensitivity to just default. And then I'm going to ask you to require video because I want to make sure it's you. And I'm going to go to next. You're the only person in my class, so this should be pretty easy. And I am going to just call this reading fluency.
You get lots of extra attention that way.
Yep. You probably won't slip through the cracks.
Yes.
I'm going to put it to all. I'll just do you just to make sure. Oh, because I could have sent it to Alice because she's in here too. And let's just make sure. So I'm assigning to this group. August 23rd is when it's due. And I'm going to assign. Now, if you are in your Teams, Matt, I don't know if you are, you can open and share your screen. And so we can see what it's like from the student point of view, because you can also change it. You can change the background. You can change the font size, whatever you're comfortable with as a student. So it's really quick and easy for the students. So there's your assignment. So we have someone while we're doing this who said, I'm more of a Google person. I mean, Matt and I too might be known as more Google people. I did write the Google Infused Classroom and the Chromebook Infused Classroom. But this would make me go to my administrator and say, especially if I'm an elementary teacher, and say, I might need this. Now, so while Matt's loading up, I also want to say, if you teach Spanish, how awesome is this? Kids can do reading fluency in the target language. If you are an ELL learner, what a great way to get to practice and practice and practice that we don't get to, we can't see your name, no. It says Facebook user to us, sorry. It's probably Dalton or something. No, I don't know. But anyway, while you're doing that, so it's it would be great for kids who need that time practicing, for kids who need extra help. I just know that when we did the reading checks, and we had like levels, like A level and B level, it was a lot of work for people. You can type your name in the comment, and then I would know who it is.
I'm having some issues with my camera, it looks like. And I keep trying to turn my camera off over here. And it looks like it's,
so you know what?
It's since you required the camera.
Let me make a new assignment. So we'll see this. We'll get to see it and play. So I create. And this is where it's hidden. And this is why it's good to show this again. It's under attach. And so I'm going to go to reading progress. I've got to attach this, upload the PDF that I downloaded actually from the internet, to be honest with you. Before I changed it a little bit to not say text, but we're not going to take the time to do that. And then I could go over here and pick the genre and all kinds of stuff, but I'm not going to do that right now. And then I am now going to assign this. Okay, I'm going to go to next.
I also have to say that I highly approve of the text that you selected, because Sanders Cisneros, we read some of her work whenever I was teaching high school Spanish, and I totally adore it. And just her outlook on life and everything was fantastic. So good choice.
Chicago girl. Okay, so I'm going to get not. So where did I do the video? I hope I didn't miss that. You know what? I'm going to go. I might have missed it, Matt, because I don't see it on here. So it might have been in the other one. So I'm going to have to go back. I'm going to discard. I'm going to start again. I'm going to go to assignment, attach, and reading progress. Upload the Sanders Cisneros. Open. And there it was.
Aha.
And I'm going to go to next. Assign it to you and not Alice. And you'll have it there in 2 seconds. So all students, nope, individual, just Matt. And I think we are ready. So it should be in your assignment. Oh,
Right.
I wasn't even showing.
Oh, I switched it over to you. Yeah. So we're seeing your screen right now.
Okay.
And so I'm going to go over to mine and we will see in my assignments, there's that same reading fluency check. It still hasn't
No,
updated, but it took just a second the last time for it to
I didn't get
update.
the title, so it might not like me. While you're waiting, I'm going to just do one more just in case because it's pretty quick. And that's something that's important. So I'm going to call it reading fluency. And I'm going to probably have spelled that wrong because I'm doing it so quickly. If it's not showing up. Uploading. This is how easy it is. I'm just going and making sure that I don't make the video mandatory. And then I'm going to next. And it looks like you've put me over there. And then let's just make sure that I'm not doing any essentials or missing. I'm just going to choose you. I'm going to, maybe I chose Alice before. And assign. Okay. Yeah, I don't think that the other one, because I didn't give it a title.
Okay.
Important.
Gotcha. There it is. It just popped in.
Okay, so let's look at it from the student point of view.
Okay. So I'm going to switch over to my screen. And it's this more recent one right here. Here we go. Okay, so here's the student screen. And so we can see over here, there's the My Work. And so from here, I can go ahead and click on it. And it starts to load up. It can hear my microphone, which we see. There's where my little face would be right there. But I got no camera because it doesn't like my camera for some reason. Ready? Let's start. Okay, here we go. We're going to try this out.
Okay.
Should I make any mistakes on purpose, do you think?
I think so.
Okay. 3, 2, 1.
And it's taking a minute to load, so I'm going to say hello to Les. Because he...
I saw that Les popped in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
so try one more time.
It just had done it right when you went out.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So what we're going to see here, and especially while I'm going to narrate while he gets this all up, is it's going to populate that reading, which we kind of saw when I did it. He's going to read for as long, and I could have made the reading passage shorter. I had that option. So he's going to turn it in probably without all of the words, but we're going to see how the AI automatically does it. If it doesn't, we saw it at the beginning. I can show that again, but it's weird because it says recording, but there is actually no text. Oh, there we go.
11 by Sandra Cisneros. What they don't understand about birthdays and what they never tell you is that when you're 11, you're also 10 and 9 and 8 and 7 and 6 and 4 and 2 and 1. When you wake up on your 12th birthday, you expect to feel 11, but you don't. You open your eyes and everything's just like yesterday, only it's today. You don't understand and you don't feel 11 at all. You feel like you're still 10, and you are underneath the year that makes you 11.
Okay, go to the bottom now and turn it in and see what happens. I'll have to go to mine.
Okay, so we're going to use this recording. And so it's attaching. Remember, my internet's a little bit slow, so some but it isn't. It's just an audio file, so hopefully it won't be too terribly bad. I feel sometimes like my Wi-Fi out here in the country is a couple of little hamsters on a hamster wheel. Like that's how fast it is. Okay, so I can hit the turn in button.
Yeah.
Okay, looks like we're turned in and I get a happy unicorn.
You do.
Excellent.
Now, I am going to, if you want to go to my screen.
We're there.
And I have one of one turned in under this reading fluency. I can click on this. And it's probably going to take less time for mine. But, oh, look at this.
Oh, I have a lot of work to do.
Oh, that's because we didn't finish.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
But you can see it says omissions, and you had a lot because you didn't finish.
Yes.
And we have here insertions. You didn't have any repetitions. And so these are the things that if we take out that red part, that I can see where you're having problems. I can also come over here, and if I want, I can change that. Maybe I didn't consider it an omission. Maybe I considered it a mispronunciation. It was slightly different. So I can go code it differently. So now I have different data if I want, which is I really like. I can also turn off auto detect, which auto detected the whole thing for you. And if I had listened to your reading, I could go and code it myself if I wanted to. Who wants to do that? That's 1985. I spent many years coding that stuff. I don't ever want to do that again if Microsoft can do it for me. Trust me. So those are the things that, and I can turn that back on, but it's a little scary with all of that red. But your words, Matt, were 83 words per minute, which is pretty good. And you only had a 7% error rate, which is, if you get down to a 0% by the end of the year, I have some really good data about you. And this is what I found being a fourth grade teacher. I was only a fourth grade teacher for 1 year. But the first thing that people came and asked me at back to school night or parent teacher conferences is, how's my child reading? That seems to be the most important thing. So now I can show these reports at back to school night. Right now, they can't be shared with parents yet, but that has been asked for. And Microsoft, personally, I think they move really fast on when people ask for something, they get that done. It's like Flipgrid. It's like the next update, it's there. So should be awesome. So we wanted to show you all, and I'm going to take this off because those red, it looks a little bit much if someone came in at the video right now. But we wanted to show you one of these great, I think the greatest new feature in Microsoft Teams. And I will say it again, as a middle school teacher, I really never knew how all of my students read. And I got these reports that said, so-and-so reads at a 12th grade level. What is that exactly? Do I really know? Can anyone really give me words around that? I had some that said this kid reads at a 5th grade reading level, which I was teaching 7th grade, so I knew he was under, but how much under? I can't really. Now, the comprehension's a different thing, and that part's going to be coming, I'm sure, as well. But right now, I just want the fluency, and I don't have to do that anymore by hand. Oh, is what I have to say. So we just wanted to give you a preview of that. And if there's any questions, I don't think there were any. It is fantastic, Stephanie.
Yeah, absolutely. While we're giving you a second to type, if you've got any questions on it, I mean, it just kind of blows my mind when I start to think about, they talk about artificial intelligence and they talk about machine learning and everything. And it's kind of hard to think about how that transitions over into schools. And I think a lot of times people think, oh my goodness, if artificial intelligence and machine learning come on, are we still going to need teachers? And the truth is that this is one place where it can help out. Because you see, what does this do? Holly, you were just talking about it a second ago. This saves you from having to sit and code and do all of that. And it's like, what if you went back to, years and years and years ago, and that teacher, Holly, was handed a stack of papers and they said, here is all of the data that you need about the way that your kids read and then what their fluency is. Yeah. And it's like, and here's all of the progress throughout the entire year. What would that free you up to do? See, that's my big thing on this. I'm okay with Microsoft taking this off of my plate because it frees me up to do what? It frees me up to strategize with the students. It frees me up to celebrate with them. It frees me up to build those relationships. It frees me up to do all of the things that we are made to do as teachers. So that's really, to me, that's one of the beauties of this, of reading progress, is it's yet another step where they can take something off of our plates when heaven knows here in education, we've just had lots of things being put onto our plates, onto our plates, onto our plates. This frees us up to be able to do the things that we were uniquely created to do. So I'm a big fan.
It's super easy. And you're right, Matt. That's the best part. Because now I can start the first week knowing how every child reads in my class without them having to be embarrassed that first week reading in front of someone else. Matt, did you used to do this? I did. When the person was in front of me reading, I was going over my lines. Do you know, like if I knew I was next to read? So my teacher probably thought I read good, but I had just practiced the last 10 minutes.
Exactly. You know, even when I was getting ready to become a high school Spanish teacher, the Praxis 2 test that I had to take to become a teacher that was specific to Spanish, there was a reading component. You know what? Even as an adult in the same room with a whole bunch of potential Spanish teachers, there was all sorts of anxiety that I had. And we all had these great big earphones on. And so we couldn't even really hear what each other was saying. It was just a whole bunch of noise in the background. But that just put me right back to those same days. You know, elementary kid sitting down right next to the teacher. Maybe there's some kids in the classroom that can overhear me. And what are they going to hear? And am I going to make mistakes? And what are they going to think of me? Here I was as an adult. I was in the exact same spot. And if I had the opportunity to practice this over and over again in a safe space, and I got to see the data and I got to see the growth, it's good stuff.
It is. So I hope you all have a great Sunday evening, and thanks for stopping by and learning a little bit about reading progress from Microsoft.
All right. Awesome. Thanks so much, everyone. Take care.
Thank you.